On display in the back here. He speaks around the country to various chapters of the Republican Women Federated, Tea Party, GOP conventions. He's spoken at CPAC and many other prominent functions. Let's welcome Eric Golub.
Thank you, sir. Okay, by a show of hands, when I was here in March, how many of you did not hear me? Okay, so most of you did. Okay, I want to start out with a couple things, and I'm sorry, I'm going to have to take issue with you. I really like clubbing baby seals. I'm sorry. If the liberals are going to say the worst things about us, they might as well be true. And as far as drilling, I believe in drilling everywhere. I would start in Nancy Pelosi's forehead. And I actually, when I look at some of the liberals, I actually think that, you know, maybe they should be waterboarded. But then I realize, no, I'm wrong. You should only waterboard people when there's a chance of extracting intelligent information. Now, and the fact is the left are just bullies, and the only thing bullies understand is force. So I'm actually going to keep my remarks a little serious rather than make you laugh tonight, because I'm very concerned that we might be going down the wrong path. The only lighthearted thing I'll say is, I know there were some lamentations about, you know, the young people. I don't know if I touched on this in March, but I'll give you the fake version and the real version. There's actually a social group that has been doing a very good job in getting young people out to conservative events. If you're over 35, do not go to any of their functions, because you will be horrified by what you see. This group started in Los Angeles and Las Vegas and Portland, Oregon. It has not infected Northern California yet. The name of it, because every bad idea starts in Southern California. I know, I live there. The name of this group is called Republican Party Animals, okay? They call themselves the drinking, smoking, gambling, cussing, and blanking wing of the GOP. And I went to one of their functions, and it was like Sodom and Gomorrah with tax cuts. And yeah, there were hundreds of young conservatives there, and over here you had people talking about Reaganomics and winning the war on terror, and then over there you had ladies that I'll euphemistically describe as dancers with trampolines and stuff, and that's why I don't have a political career, because there were allegations I was at one of those meetings. But the fact is I found out that if you want to get young people to be more conservative, there's one approach, which is one, you get them liquored up, show them pictures of pretty girls. It works with Carrie Prejean, not Helen Thomas or Madeleine Albright. Then you drag them to the voting booth in a drunken, lusty haze, and then after they pulled the lever and voted conservative, you hand them a Bible and say you're grounded for life. However, there's a better approach. Advocacy is advocacy is advocacy. And I know I'm being serious tonight. I told you a bunch of jokes in March. But the biggest mistake that anybody makes in advocacy, and I'm going to say it right now, I don't care about ideological purity. I care about winning and governing. Okay? If you're in an area where it is to the right of Attila the Hun, elect candidates who are to the right of Attila the Hun. I would love that. I would like it if the whole country made Attila look like a bleeding heart leftist. However, I want to win, because the worst of the conservatives are still better than what the liberals are offering. Okay? I did not support Meg Whitman in the primaries, but believe you me, if I had a choice of her or Jerry Brown, I would consider her the next right-wing fascist just to get her in. So, advocacy. The biggest mistake that everybody makes in advocacy, when you're talking to groups, it doesn't matter whether it's Jewish group, blacks groups, young people, old people, it's about getting the message out. Do not tell people what they should care about. Ask them what they do care about, and then show them how the conservative message fits in to what matters in their heart. Because you're already convinced of what you believe. If all somebody cares about is abortion, and you talk for an hour about illegal immigration, okay, their eyes are going to glaze over. And if I see that somebody doesn't care about certain issues, I will use humor to deliberately try to not talk about things that I don't want to talk about. Okay, for example, I know there's a lot of people who are crusaders on social issues. The Tea Party is not about social issues. There are plenty of great socially conservative organizations, from the Faith and Freedom Coalition to Phyllis Schlafly's Eagle Forum. The Tea Party is about fiscal responsibility. They're going to try to distract you. So what I do is I tell them, look, the left has gone way too far on social issues, so I'm going to take a couple bold stands on two social issues that are near and dear to my heart. Number one, I'm getting real bold here. I am absolutely diametrically opposed to gay couples having abortions. And when a liberal got mad at me, she said, why? I said, because God made it this way. She said, you Bible-thumping zealot. I said, no, do I have to draw you a diagram? It's not going to happen. And I kid you not, I think she called up Debbie Wasserman Schultz and the Pelosi Raptor to try to get legislation passed. So, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, a lady who acts like she knows everything. She's Sergeant Schultz from Hogan's Heroes. She knows nothing. So the next one that I am seriously taking on, a social issue that I deeply believe in, okay? I am 100%, I want an outright ban on metrosexual marriage. Now, for those of you who don't know what that means, metrosexuals are Phil Donahue type sissy she-males who think that just because Marlo Thomas bullies them at home, that all men want to be subjected to that. Now, metrosexual men have united the entire social issues spectrum against them, which is hard to do. Think about it. The alpha males hate them because they want them to act like real men and man up, okay? The women hate them because nobody wants to marry a mama's boy, and the gays hate them because they give gays a bad name unfairly. And if we let metrosexuals reproduce, we will have another generation of sissy beta males. So the question is where do you find these effeminate she-males? Except for Bill Clinton, every Democratic presidential nominee for the last 25 years. Look at Barack Obama. This is a man, he bowled a 37, okay, 2 for 22 basketball shooting. We know he can't skeet shoot. 0 for 5 in the football toss at the Jersey Shore, and when throwing that baseball, the whole world said, oh my heavens, he's wearing mom jeans. Let me tell you, you cannot be the boss of the free world when you are only the 6th most powerful person in your own household. Okay? You know a man is effeminate when he's going to Al Gore and seeing if he could borrow some beta blockers. The entire Democratic Party has been completely emasculated, and all we need to do is show our inner alpha. So when getting to advocacy, ask people what they care about and show them strength versus weakness, because nobody wants to be sided with weakness. Show them strength, but in a way that makes it look like they're the ones making all the decisions. So if somebody says, well, you know what? Guns and schools and death, and the only solution is an outright ban. Okay, fine, shut down all the public schools. So, you know, at some point, it's all about what do they want, okay? Do not be angry. Anger does not sell. If you go back to every single presidential election since 1960, because that was the TV era, who would you rather drink a beer with and watch a ball game with? Now, Bush Sr. was a good man, John Kerry not so much, but they both looked like people that you would rather go to the opera with and drink Chardonnay, okay? Beer, ball game. Bill Clinton shot a duck when he was running for president. Beer, ball game. George W. Bush used to be a frat boy who drank, and he used to own the Texas Rangers. You can't get more beer ball game than that. And the only way an opera Chardonnay guy like Barack Obama can get elected is if he convinces the other person that they are more opera Chardonnay, Mitt Romney. So, Mitt Romney, phenomenal human being. He was beer ball game. He just wouldn't let people see it. So, what's our plan of attack? Since again, this is all about winning. 2014 and 2016, two very different elections. 2014, hammer Barack Obama, okay? That's it. And if somebody says, well, why are you obstructing everything he's trying to do? Simple, because he's wrong about everything he's trying to do. The minute he stops being wrong, I won't stand up and say, good, well, can't you say anything nice about the president? Yeah, he's got 2 lovely children. I want to do whatever I can to help him spend more time with his lovely family as a private citizen in Illinois, as quickly as possible. Nice shirt and tie, Mr. President. I mean, the suit is empty, but it looks good on you. So whoever, you know what, we'll even give him the credit that belongs to his tailor. Okay, let's give him something. But in terms of substance, there's no there. So the fact is we have to hammer and say everything Barack Obama has done has failed. Okay? Do not go near his birth certificate. As I said last time, he was born in New York in an IBM lab. He's a computer. Okay? That's why he lacks human emotions. The Intel chip is right here where his heart should be. Stick to policy and say everything Barack Obama has tried to do has not worked. Okay? We can hammer him. That's the midterm strategy. That's what you do in midterms. However, we're already thinking about 2016. 2016 has to be a positive campaign. The day after the 2014 elections, and it's going to be hard for some of you, let Barack Obama go. Don't even mention him again. He will be completely and utterly irrelevant. And the best part is, the day after the 2014 election, Barack Obama is going to start losing his mind. He needs media oxygen like we need real oxygen to breathe. People are going to be jockeying to take his job, and Barack Obama is privately going to be doing a slow burn thinking, okay, Joe Biden does not inspire his own family, Hillary Clinton is toxic, and that boring white loser, governor of Maryland, nobody knows who he is. And Barack Obama's going to be thinking, these are the people getting my media attention? He's going to go crazy. Let the Democrats try to run while distancing themselves from Barack Obama. Bill Clinton went nuts his last 2 years as Al Gore and Bill Bradley sucked up all the attention. Don't give Barack Obama the attention. Deprive what he desperately needs to breathe. So hammer him every day until 2014 is done, and then after that, somebody might come up to you, and they're going to talk 2016, and they're going to say, I voted for Barack Obama. I don't know what I was thinking. Turn on the empathy. It's okay. A lot of people are hurting right now. I understand that you're hurting, but that's the past. Let me tell you about the future. Let me tell you about, and insert the words, either Marco Rubio, Rand Paul, Paul Ryan, Chris Christie, Colonel Allen West, or whoever you are supporting, but don't even mention Barack Obama. Take away his power, okay? Because he desperately needs conflict. So, you know, I compare Barack Obama to Michael Jordan, except without any accomplishment. Michael Jordan was such a great basketball player. After he defeated everybody, he had to invent enemies to motivate himself. He'd say, the Knicks are talking trash about me. You're like, we didn't say anything. Leave us alone. You have 6 rings. We don't, come on. Don't hurt us again. Okay? Barack Obama wants to pick fights. Now, do not let him pick irrelevant fights. He desperately wants to stay in the news. Okay? Irrelevant fight. He's spending $100 million to go to Africa. Okay, fine. He's a plutocrat. He's a liar. He's corrupt. So what? He won the election. He's going to take his $100 million junket, and if you spend 1 minute on a blog talking about that trip to Africa, you are not talking about Benghazi. You are not talking about Fast and Furious. You are not talking about the IRS. Do not get involved in what does not matter, okay? If you want to talk Benghazi, 4 people died. Let's find out where he was. But if you want to find out why he's going to Africa and wasting $100 million, simple. Because he's a liberal, he wastes money. That's what they do, okay? He won the election. He's going to waste as much money as possible on things that don't matter, okay? Don't focus on that stuff. Because remember, at the end of the day, Vince Lombardi said it best. Winning is not everything. It's the only thing, okay? Losing benefits nobody. I can name you every single Super Bowl winner since the first one. Nobody cares who the Super Bowl losers are, ever. And there's no second place in politics. There's winning and there's garbage, okay? So I've given you the strategies. What I will leave you with is some optimism. And be of, Rush Limbaugh says, be of good cheer. Hannity, he says, let not your heart be troubled. It is going to be okay. It really is, because the fact of the matter is that we're not going to let this country go down a rat hole. There are enough good people in this country. It took them a lot longer than I would have liked, but if you just condemn the people, all you do is push them and harden them. An outstretched hand is a lot better than a clenched fist. Okay, now again, I'm talking about your fellow American citizens, not Iran, okay? But when you're dealing with your fellow American citizens, love them, bring them into the fold, and if you've got liberal members of your family, just love them, okay? Because if you chase them away from the dinner table, they'll never listen to you. But if you give them that outstretched hand, they might come around. And sometimes it takes a shock to the system, because I was always a conservative, but my closest friends in college, they voted for Clinton twice, they voted for Al Gore, then 9/11 happened, and they said, kill them all, okay? I didn't have to say a single thing. They've been voting conservative ever since. And, pray for the president, because he did have a couple health scares. He tries to keep this from the media. I don't know if you know, he had to be rushed to the hospital a few weeks ago. He had a cancerous tumor removed from his colon, but don't worry, it turned out just to be Chris Matthews and the rest of MSNBC. and there was, and I'm keeping track of the clock there, there was also a situation at the Democratic convention, and I went there to see these people in their natural habitat. But I don't know how this deranged guy, he got past all the Secret Service, got past all the security, and actually seized the microphone, and it actually turned out to be Joe Biden. And the reason I bring this up is because, remember that when the Democrats had the debate on whether or not to believe in God? Let me tell you, okay, when Joe Biden started speaking, there was not a single atheist in that auditorium. They're like, please God, please Joe, please. So, I never saw so many liberals reaching for rosary beads that were not there. I mean, the Jewish liberals were looking for like a cross. They're like, we'll do anything, Joe, don't back. So the fact is that Barack Obama is like that too cool for school athlete, like, I got this, it's cool, I got this. But you know what? Underneath, this guy is like Jason Blair from the New York Times. He is sweating bullets because he knows he is in over his head. And we saw everything we needed to see about Barack Obama a couple weeks ago. And remember when his speech was not delivered to him and it was just left out back? And he's like, well, I'd like to begin, but I don't have my speech. And then a staffer hurriedly comes and brings the speech out. And he says, wow, there was some real sweating back there. They were real nervous. No, he was nervous. Okay, guess what? Ronald Reagan knew what he believed. I don't have notepads. I could write stuff down. It would be illegible. I wouldn't be able to read it. Okay, when you know what you believe, you don't need 10 teleprompters. So the fact is be optimistic, because we really are winning the battle of ideas. People can look at your faces. If you look and act like losers, you're treated like losers. Act like winners, because we are winning. People hate Obamacare. Okay, gun control is going to die a miserable death. Barack Obama does not even want that fight. Okay, they are losing on everything. His plan to invest in education, when it was described as preschool for every 4-year-old, dead on arrival. Cap and trade. Okay, the only thing that would be good for a bullet train is if all the liberal legislators were on it and it went into the Santa Monica Pier. Okay? Don't worry, we'd rescue them. We're compassionate conservatives. But the fact is that everything the left has tried to do has failed, and the best thing I will say about Barack Obama is he did the one thing that Ronald Reagan could not do. He showed the utter folly of liberalism. Everything that the liberals believe in is in complete ashes right now. We are winning. Their agenda has self-destructed, and all we have to do is have better public relations. Now, I will be signing copies of my books because, as I said last time, it's always better to have people ask, why are you finished speaking, than when are you finished speaking? And I can just picture my mom going, hurry up, Matlock is coming on any minute now. So the fact is, I will be selling copies of my book there. I've got very few copies on me, so the first couple will get the copies today. Otherwise, I will be taking orders for them. I take checks from liberals, not from conservatives. Even though the dollar's only worth 70 cents, I will not hold it against you. There is an upside-down fedora there. I'm from California. I'm broke. After you have given to your fine candidates, after you have given to the Tea Party, after you have given to all the important causes, if you have anything left, whether it's silver bullion or McDonald's gift certificates, and that's only if the bullion can be converted into McDonald's gift certificate, McRib Week is coming up. Please put whatever you can in my hat. If you don't buy one book, buy all three, and I will leave you with my favorite words that we are still allowed to say in America. God bless. Thank you very much.
It's good to have a smile. What's that?
Isn't he going to answer any questions?
I can take a couple questions, but we're late on
We're
time.
getting short on time.
Do you want me to take a couple quick questions? It's your call.
Okay, one question from Bob.
I don't mind ducking questions.
All I wanted to say is that I'm in the middle of Either Express. No, ideological idiots.
Yeah.
Reading it this afternoon, and it's laugh out loud funny, and just right on the mark.
Thank you. Your rebate check will be in the mail, sponsored by Barack Obama. Thank you all. Buy as many books as possible.
And I'd like to recognize Supervisor Gallagher from Sutter County District 5, just walked in. We have an announcement from Pat Miller,